Models show multiple cyclones. Huge changes overnight. The calm before the storm. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Whether you're tuning in from the East Coast, the Gulf Coast, or halfway around the world, you're in for an exciting update today. Tropical activity is ramping up on both coasts, yes, both the Eastern Pacific and the Atlantic. We're seeing potential tropical cyclones forming. Experimental eye-driven forecast models generating buzz. And a dramatic cool-down sweeping through parts of the US, and if that wasn't enough, we might even get our first hint of snowfall in the Rockies. So, grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's dive into everything happening in the world of weather today. Tropical storm Gil and activity in the Eastern Pacific. Let's begin in the Eastern Pacific, where we've already been watching Tropical Storm Gil. This system has been steadily tracking northwest and is expected to gradually drift north of the Hawaiian Islands. However, forecasts suggest that as it does so, it may begin to weaken due to unfavorable conditions. But Gil isn't the only concern. Right now, there's a broad area of low pressure off the coast with a 60% chance of development within the next 2 days, and that number jumps to 80% over the next 7. That's a strong indicator that we may soon have another named storm forming in this region. This new system is modeled to follow a path somewhat similar to Gil's, northwestward, then bending slightly northward, but intensification is more likely with this one. The GFS model run shows a tightly wound circulation forming and gaining strength rapidly. The exact track remains uncertain, but we'll definitely be keeping a close eye on it. Further east, closer to the Mexican coast, there's yet another disturbance. This one has no development expected in the next 48 hours. But there's about a 40% chance over the next week. While that might sound modest, the tropical environment is very active right now, and even a weak disturbance can become something more under the right conditions. This region is also expected to see an uptick in moisture, which could increase the odds of storm formation over time. Atlantic Basin gets active, shifting focus to the Atlantic. We've now entered a more dynamic and unpredictable phase of the season. Just yesterday, there was no official development outlook along the East Coast, but now, less than 24 hours later, the National Hurricane Center has issued a 30% chance of development for a system off the southeastern U.S. This is a rapid change, and it aligns with what some forecasters, myself included, had been suspecting. Moisture is building offshore near the Outer Banks of North Carolina, and models suggest that we could see the beginnings of a tropical depression or storm by August 4th. This system then hangs offshore for several days, gradually organizing and becoming more defined. By August 7th, the system may shift westward slightly, brushing coastal areas like North Carolina and Virginia with scattered showers, gusty winds, and maybe even a few isolated thunderstorms. This would not be a landfalling major hurricane, but any organized low-pressure system along the coast during hurricane season deserves attention. The GFS model continues to track this disturbance and suggests that, by August 9th, it begins accelerating northeastward. Interestingly, it avoids a direct landfall in the U.S. but skirts dangerously close to New Jersey, New York, and southern New England, before making a more significant impact near Nova Scotia, Canada. This projected path, while still uncertain, could bring indirect impacts such as rip currents, rough surf, and scattered coastal flooding to much of the mid-Atlantic and northeastern seaboard. GFS versus Euro, the model showdown. But here's where things get complicated. The GFS model is clearly signaling development and potential impact. The European model, ECMWF, not so much. While the Euro shows consistent storminess and heavy rainfall across the deep south and southeast through the first week of August, it does not support the development of a tropical cyclone off the east coast. According to that model, all the activity remains disorganized and fails to consolidate into a named system. So, what do we do when the two most respected global models disagree? We track them both. This is what we call a model battle, and it means we'll need to update daily. These disagreements are common, but when they occur during tropical season, they create uncertainty, and uncertainty, when lives and property are at stake, is not something we take lightly. Gulf Coast potential and the rise of forecasting. And while the East Coast draws our attention, don't sleep on the Gulf of Mexico. There's a lot of tropical energy building in the northern Gulf. Thunderstorms and showers have been frequent over the past few days. And while no specific low-pressure system has formed yet, conditions are ripe for something to pop up unexpectedly. Meanwhile, a newer player has entered the forecasting arena, the European Eye Augmented Model. This is still considered experimental, but it's fascinating to watch. It blends traditional model physics with machine learning to constantly self-correct and adjust its forecasts in near real time. According to this model, we might see a tropical wave emerge from Africa, move across the main development region, MDR, and begin organizing as it approaches the Bahamas. From there, it could cross Florida as a tropical storm, or even a minimal hurricane, before entering the Gulf of Mexico. Once over the warm Gulf waters, this system drops in pressure quickly, from 1005 MB down to 985 MB, and targets eastern Louisiana around August 16. That kind of drop would suggest significant intensification. But, and this is key, the timing and path are highly uncertain. Even a small change in steering currents could redirect this system toward Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, or even loop back into Florida. So, while the model's visualization is valuable, it must be taken with a grain of salt. Still, it's one of the most aggressive forecasts we've seen from any model this season. Rainfall anomalies and first signs of snow. In terms of precipitation outlook, it's shaping up to be an extremely wet stretch, particularly for the southeastern U.S. States like Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama, northern Florida, eastern Tennessee, and Virginia are expected to see almost double their normal rainfall over the next 2 weeks. This could lead to flooding in low-lying areas and significant impacts on agriculture, roads, and daily life. The northern plains and upper Midwest are also expected to see above-average precipitation, though not quite as intense as in the southeast. Elsewhere, things are expected to be much drier than normal, particularly in the western U.S., Central Plains, and interior Northeast. And believe it or not, snow may already be on the radar. That's right, in the Rockies, particularly in Colorado, Utah, and Wyoming, a few high mountain peaks may see a dusting of snow over the next 2 weeks. While it's not uncommon for the highest elevations to get flakes in August, it's a visual reminder that autumn is creeping closer. Cool temperatures bring fall vibes. Speaking of autumn, let's talk temperatures. A massive blob of cooler-than-average air has settled into the eastern half of the United States. In some areas, like western North Carolina and parts of Kentucky, temperatures are running 20 to 25 degrees Fahrenheit below average. That's unheard of for August. Instead of the usual stifling summer heat, people are stepping outside into fall-like conditions. And for many, especially in the South, it's a welcome change. The central U.S. is expected to begin warming back up around August 7th, followed by a gradual warm-up along the East Coast around August 10th. However, it's not expected to last long, as new rounds of cooler air may push back in by mid-August, creating a yo-yo temperature pattern. Overall, August is shaping up to be a transition month, 1 foot in summer, 1 foot stepping into fall, and it's happening earlier than usual. What's ahead? To wrap things up, we're in an active stretch of weather. And we're only just getting started. The Eastern Pacific is buzzing, the Atlantic is waking up, and the Gulf of Mexico is ready to surprise us. We're watching multiple systems, analyzing multiple models, and trying to piece together the most accurate forecasts we can. Whether or not every model pans out, the bigger takeaway is this: we're entering peak hurricane season, and preparedness is key. Stay informed, stay flexible, and stay safe. We'll be back tomorrow with more updates. If you enjoyed today's deep dive, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss a forecast. Give the video a thumbs up if it helped you out, and leave your thoughts or questions in the comments below, especially if you're watching from a potentially affected area. We'll also be releasing special videos soon covering the fall 2025 forecast and an early preview of winter 2025-2026. So, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Take care, and as always, Keep looking up.